the Smiley J Artist Zone, a platform for and about independent artists, music, interviews, and much, much more. Now, give it up, your host, Smiley J.
Welcome to the Smiley J Artist Zone, a cool space dedicated to independent music creators of the world. Yes, this is where music creators can come and hang out with me in the Artist Zone, and we talk music and some other fun stuff. Yes, chit chat and music is what I do, and I'm your host, Smiley J. Yes, and as always, I'm so glad that you, sir, and you, Miss Ma'am, that you guys chose to hang out with me today. Yes. As a matter of fact, you know what? I want to shout out some of my dedicated listeners. Yes, I do read my analytics reports, and I want to shout you out. So, Cali, California, Georgia, Connecticut, and sunny Florida, North Carolina, Michigan, yes, Iowa. Okay, Iowa, who knew? Y'all listening? H-Town. Yes, thank you, H-Town. And Ohio. Okay, listen, my Ohio folks, you guys always show up. You are always listening. Thank you so much. And, of course, my home team, D.C., Maryland, Virginia. What's up, y'all? Thank you all. Thank you, everyone, for listening. I do appreciate each and every listening ear. Thank you so much. And, continue to listen to the show and share it. Yes, tell a friend or two. Yes, so they can tell some friends. You know how I go. Let the show grow. Yes, help me make the show grow. I need you. Yes, and you need me to help you serve some of this good music from these independent music creators. Yes, because some of this music I have never heard. So keep sending me the music, y'all. I love it. Now, if you can't catch the show in real time, you can always go back and listen to the show anytime, because I know you guys are busy and you may not be able to catch me 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but all shows are archived, so listen when you can. Just listen. And whichever platform that you listen to the show on, Apple, Amazon, Pandora, Spotify, all the typical music streaming platforms, don't forget to hit that follow button. Yes, hit that follow button. It's important. Okay, let me slow it down. March is Women's Month. Yes, we are going to celebrate and highlight the contributions of women. So all month, I will be featuring women who are doing great things, using their gifts and their talents to serve others, just making the world a better place for both you and me. Which, is exactly why I invited today's guest. Yes, let me tell you a little bit about her before she joins us in the Artist Zone. She is a mother, a wife, a minister, best-selling author, and a beauty mogul, celebrity makeup artist. Yes, she is also very passionate in all of her works, and I just know that she is going to motivate, inspire, and encourage someone out there to step into your greatness. So I need you guys to help me welcome the beautiful Dr. Kym Lee. Greetings, welcome to the Smiley J Artist Zone. How are you today, Miss Queen Kym Lee?
Hey, girl, hey.
You know what? What's up? How you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you? I'm so glad to be here.
I'm so glad to have you as my guest, especially because we're in Women's Month. And, you know what? I like the theme. This year's theme is celebrating women who tell their stories.
Yes, I think it's such a great thing because we have to really kind of just stay true to legacy, right? And yes. I think that's how when we tell our stories, it really helps us to create not only a future, but it helps us to find out where we came from. And that's what's so dope about legacy. So this is the perfect time to tell a story so that those that come behind us, Smiley, can have something to look forward to. It's like, okay, she did that. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go even higher. I'm going to go even further because I know that somebody, has done all these great things. So congratulations to you on this great podcast and having all of the success that you have had.
Well, thank you so much. And it's people like you and women doing wonderful things in the world that we're going to talk about today. Now, listen, you are like super busy woman doing great things, using your skills and gifts to serve others. Now, that's what's up. I love it.
Thank you.
Now, most women wear many hats because, as women, that's what we do.
Yes, we do.
Yes. Now, I wanna talk about some of your multiple hats because, like you have a passion for helping women experience beauty transformation from the inside out. Because there's a huge difference between outer beauty and inner beauty. I mean, both of them have their place, but just tell us about your book and what you think about transform. You have a book, Brain Beauty. Beauty. Yes.
I do. I have an amazing book called Brain Beauty, which I absolutely love the title of the book. Even, after writing the book, I was like, how you put something down and you pick it back up from time to time? Like, I still pick that book up and I still reference certain things in the book because the book is so impactful. But I was prompted to write the book because I was just working with so many different C-suite women who are, typically CEOs or women of influence. And then God took me to working with the celebrity. So 90% of my clients are high impact women who are very important in their own respective worlds, meaning that they are essential employees to wherever they are because they've either created the space or they have carved out a space that is unusual to who they are. But with all of their achievements, Smiley, and everything that they had done, what I found to be very interesting about each of them, well, not each of them, but many of them, because some of the women that I highlight in the book have not dealt specifically with some of these things, but I map them out where I actually talk about them because I find that they have overcome so much as it relates to it. So let me just kind of bring it home. Mm-hmm. I was prompted to write this book because although I would make them beautiful on the outside, there always seemed to be something missing on the inside. So I started to do more of an introspective look at what beauty really meant to people in general. And for whatever reason, it is so crazy because we can send people to the moon and make all these creations. So why do we think that beauty is outside and outward? Mm-hmm. It really begins on the inside. So I started this journey writing this book because I wanted to kind of take a deep dive into the mind of a woman to figure out if you got all this stuff and you got all this fame and you got all this fortune and all this success, why don't you feel beautiful even after I put all this fabulous makeup on you? And what I realized is that it was something much deeper than what they looked like externally, but that it was something that was missing internally. It was something that had been either plagued or something that had been violated or something that they lacked on the inside. And so I started to write a book about it. I started to write about it and I chart the progress of the person getting healed from these things. And I parallel it, Smiley, to the journey of actually adding makeup to the face. So it's crazy how I parallel it. So the first chapter actually is about forgiveness. And I talk about how in order to forgive, you have to do some extractions. And that's what happens with the face before you can even apply makeup to a smooth surface. There are some bumps and bruises that you got to remove first. There are some extractions that have to happen. Anybody that's gotten a facial knows that that's one of the first things that a facialist will do is to extract those pores of all of the debris and all of the things that cause the skin to have different ailments. And that's what happens in our heart. In order for you to add someone to your life or add that beauty to you, you have to be able to extract that pain and extract that envy and that frustration that you may have acquired from, say, a bad mate or, a disgruntled relationship that you are holding on the inside. And one of the parallels that I use, Smiley, which is cool, and I will go to your next time because I could talk about this all day, but one of the parallels that I use or the metaphors I use is I parallel it to milk. Like when milk spoils in our refrigerator, what do?
We toss it.
We throw it away.
Yes.
We don't keep it. We don't hold on to it. So why is it that when it's old memories or old feelings, we still house them in our hearts? Why do we still keep and hold on to anger and envy for people who honestly have absolutely most of the time have absolutely no indication that you have an issue with them? They've moved on.
Yeah,
forgiveness is about you. And that's what I tell people all the time. It's really not about reconciliation, because I could forgive you and still not trust you. It's a difference. But I need to forgive you for my own self gratification as well as my inner beauty, so that I can now start to add things to my life. So the book is just dope. So the first chapter literally takes people out. When they read it, they're like, oh my God. And I make people take a deep dive. And then I have at the end of each chapter just some challenges and some questions to ask yourself, and how you can progress to the next level. Because you can't even get to eyeshadow and eyeliner until you can get this stuff together, okay?
So that's real talk. That's real talk.
And that's real talk. So each chapter deals with each step that I take. So as you know, I've done your makeup. You know, it's a process that I do.
Yes.
And so going through that process of adding things, right, to your life, whether you're adding, any kind of adornments, or you're adding anything else, you got to take some stuff away. You got to know where to put stuff. You got to know where to position things. And that's the same way makeup is applied. So it's really good. So if you're really a makeup buff, or you want to be one, and you got some things you want to let go and you want to have total beauty, this is the book for you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, I have not read the book, but I'm going to deep dive into the book. But I know that when I sit with you, you and I have really good conversations that we're going to keep private.
Yes, we do.
But I want to say this. Now, because we live in a society that's so visual, right? Women spend a lot of time focusing on, we spend a lot of time focusing on our outer appearance, because, outer beauty creates that initial attraction. But inner beauty creates like long-lasting relationships.
Yes.
Now, if you really think about it, I mean, when it comes to describing the people in our lives that we love and admire the most, we talk about how much we love their personality. We don't really talk about their physical appearance. So I love this book. I love that you wrote this book about brain beauty, and I can't wait to read it.
Yes, I think it's going to be a really a blessing to you and to those that decide to pick it up. Because I know it's going to be transformational, and that's what we want, right? We want to continue to grow, right? We want to continue. And I know people say, well, that's just who I am, and it's just who I'm going to be. And this is just where I am right now. But I want to challenge those that are listening to continue to want to grow, because everything around us that's not moving is dead, period. If you're not moving, if water is still, think about still water. If it's not moving, typically you have mold growing and you have fungus happening, right? It's when water is moving that it's most fluid and it's most healthy. And that's the way God wants us to be in our lives. He wants us to be fluid and moving and growing. So it's very, very important that we accept and that we look for transformation to happen. And transformation happens, Smiley, and I can go into my second hat that I wear, but transformation happens by mind renewal. It only happens when your mind is literally starts there, and then all of the internal, then external things start to happen. So if you're wondering why you're single, if you're wondering why you don't have long-lasting, healthy friendships, if you're wondering why, people kind of shy away from you, this is a time to take a look at yourself. And this is not to make you feel bad, but this is actually an open door for you to feel better. Let's get that brain together. Let's get that beauty in that brain going, and you'll begin to attract who you are.
And you know what? It is necessary to do, to perform a self-assessment on yourself and really deep dive and go within. And that is really healing begin. And you know what? Let's move on. Let's talk about one of your other hats, which is ministry. You teach gifts. You have a gifts class that you teach to women. Now, do you teach the women how to identify their spiritual gifts and also how to use their gifts effectively?
Absolutely. It's so important. Let me tell you something. When you know what your purpose is in life, and most women don't know, most people don't know. Smiley, it's not even about an age thing. It's just about an awareness thing. And so what I always like to challenge women who take my course is, do you know what you're purposed to do? That's the first question I ask. And you would be surprised at how many women say they don't, especially because a lot of times it's hard to be what you can't see, right? People you know, a lot of us are first generation entrepreneurs. We're first generation graduates of college, or we may just be first generation of whatever, right? Because we grew up in a time, Smiley, where our parents were pretty conventional, right? They did, you know, things a certain way, you know, and unless you had a silver spoon in your mouth, pretty much our parents were just, you know, middle class, hardworking people, right? And now I have friends, Smiley, who are millionaires. I didn't know millionaires growing up. I don't know about you. I didn't know millionaires growing up. I didn't know, you know, people who have achieved some of the things that I've seen as an adult. And I think it's pretty dope. And I asked myself, you know, what separates us from them? And does money really equivocate to success? And I started asking myself these hard questions because I wanted to know why I was exposed to this circle of people, right? God, why have you shown me all of these people who are so established? And I asked him, you know, what is my purpose in this? And that's where it all began. And so I realized that I am an encourager. I realized that I'm a fire starter. So I do things for the first time. Smiley, it's the craziest thing. And God took me back to this, learning myself. He said, Kym, everything you've ever done, you've been a pioneer at it. So I was the first graduate at Bowie State University to attend Georgetown Law. You know, I was the first in my family to attend law school. You know, I was the first one in my family to have a best-selling book. So there were so many firsts that I was able to accomplish. I mean, this is a sidebar. I mean, I'm the first Delta in my family. All my family members are AKAs, right? So all of my family, I've always done things for the first time, and God showed me that even with the smaller things or the things that were not as, you know, maybe as impactful as you thought, but what I was teaching you was I was showing you that you would do things with no blueprint. And so when I say that, a lot of times it's hard to be what you don't see. A lot of times people will shy away from what they have not seen before because it's the fear of the unknown. So that means that they won't walk in their purpose. And a lot of times God has purposed people to do things that they've never seen. You've never seen anyone else do it. You've never seen anyone else achieve it. You've never seen anyone else live in it. You've never seen anyone else drive it. You've never seen anyone achieve nothing, none of these things. So how do I find out what I'm called to do? So I do this gift assessment with them, right? And I tell people all the time, what you're gifted to do is what comes easiest to you. Right? It's not what comes easiest to your parents. It's not what comes easiest to your mate. It's what comes easiest to you. It's those things that you settle in that bring you joy. It's those things that you do that when you touch them, you would do it for free. It's those things that you dream about that only God could have given you because you've never seen anyone else to do it. Or if you have, you still have a desire. It's like, why can't I do this? And so I teach women how not only to identify, but also how to gravitate to and achieve their gifts and then utilize them in their everyday life. And when you have people, Smiley, who are living in their purpose and walking in their gifts and utilizing them, we have better relationships. We have better success on our jobs. We have better success at opportunities that come our way because we live our lives with intentionality. And that's something that I stand for, Smiley. I don't believe in filling empty gaps and spaces just because. And a lot of people are enamored by that. They want something to post on social media. They want to say they're booked and busy instead of just living in the moments that mean your gift and your purpose is being used. And sometimes that means I got to sit and chill because God has to start to cultivate some stuff in me. That may mean I need to rest. Like today was a rest day for me. I had some things to do, but I did a lot of resting today, Smiley, because I needed to prepare myself even for this moment, right? So I could encourage somebody that's listening. So that I can inspire somebody that's or listening to this in their car, right? I want somebody to make a U-turn right now and say, you know what? I'm not even supposed to be doing this. What I'm supposed to be doing is that. And in order for me to do that well, I got to turn this car around and go a different direction. That's what I'm hoping that this broadcast will spark in someone that's listening.
We definitely want ladies out there, if you're listening, we definitely want you to walk in your purpose. And again, as Kym mentioned, the thing that brings you joy, that brings a smile on your face, that is what you're supposed to be doing. Now, Kym, you, like I said, you wear many hats and you are a busy lady. You're doing good things in the world. Now, you know, I watch you. I said, that daggone Kym is over there. Now, listen, is there a gift of marketing? Because, baby, You can sell water to Mr. Deer Park. No, now seriously, to the people out there that's listening, is not real familiar with the gifts. They may not be of Christian faith. Now, does everyone have a gift?
Absolutely. The Bible tells us that our gifts come without repentance. Everyone is given a gift at birth. We're all given a gift. We're giving a gift, whether it is to speak, whether it is to encourage, whether it is to serve. All of us have gifts. And from those gifts, and there are 10 gifts that the Bible speaks about. Some will say 12, but I teach from 10. And those gifts, from there, you can find your occupation and your life purpose in those gifts. Even with your family dynamic, even with your relationships, your gift will take precedence and would literally dominate your life, because you'll find yourself in such circumstances and situations. It's almost like someone has the gift of administration. This is one of the gifts, for instance. And if anybody's listening to me, you'll know it's you. You will walk into a event and everything will seem unorganized, and immediately you start putting stuff together, right? You start helping. It's like, let me help them organize these papers. Let me get these bags over here. You know what, you guys, you probably should have this assembly line going this way, because in your mind, you see organization because you have the gift of organization. So typically you would fall into the job profession of things where you organize, or things where you have cognitive thinking skills, where you're helping people to navigate, and it comes easiest to you. Remember I said that earlier.
Yes, we talked about that, yeah.
It comes easiest to you, and it's like, oh my God. And so people who fulfill that gift, they find they're much happier, and they're frustrated when they're not doing it. They're frustrated. So if you find yourself to be frustrated, if you find yourself to be unfulfilled, 9 times out of 10, that is because you are not living in your gift.
Okay, now we want, because I think people are much happier, less stressful when you are operating and you're doing the things that God called you to do. Like, I absolutely love this platform. I love talking to music creators. I love talking to people about their goals and dreams and sharing good music to the folks. Now, like, is there someone say, well, I've never heard of this gift thing. So, like, is there a gift assessment if someone wanted to know?
There is.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Yep. So if you Google spiritual gifts, in the assessment, they pop up. It's like hundreds of them on the internet, right? And I just found one that I like to use in my teachings, because certainly somebody with, that's degreed in that area, probably of psychology, psychology and ministry together has come up with this, and it works. It really does. The one that we use, I find to be about 99% correct. And when I tell people what their gifts are after the test, it's like 100-question test, and it's easy questions, right? You're like, oh my God, you're absolutely, and believe it or not, Smiley, out of the 10, usually people have more than one. They usually have 2 or 3, that they walk in, or more. And, like, there's teaching, there's preaching, there's encouragement, there's administration, there's healing. I love my healers, because the healers are what we need, right? And a lot of times the healers are dealing with people so broken that they are just there to rescue, right? These are your naturopaths. These are people that, just got a remedy for everything. Like, how you got that friend that's like, listen, girl, you need to do this, 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 and this. And they mean it. And they got the words of healing. They have the gift of healing in their hands. They have the gift when they cook, when they give you things, it always lends itself, or it goes back to the root of healing. So that's just some examples of what, people are called to do. And like I said, there are 10 of them. And I actually challenge people to go and take a look at them and take the test and see what your gifts are. And then there's a second test that I do where I give people an idea of how you can use your gift in your profession, right? How can you find yourself fulfilled, even in your, like your spare time, with your hobbies and things like that? Because sometimes people are so deep into their craft or their profession that they're like, well, I may be too far into that to be kind of going into a plan B, right? So, and let's just be realistic. I tell people, don't quit your day job just yet, because the world is crazy. But if you can... Pay them bills, girl. But
that's wisdom.
That's wisdom, because mama going to give you some wisdom. Look, Pastor Kym going to give you some wisdom. But I do believe that some part of your life, Smiley, should be spent spending time doing the things that you love and the things that you're gifted at. So that may come into your secondary time, which is your hobbies and gifts, your hobbies and things you do on the weekends or the evenings, where you can get into that. And you'll find yourself to be very fulfilled, very fulfilled.
Okay. Now, we appreciate that. And listen, if you don't know what your gifts are, you have a gift. Find out what it is and cultivate that gift and do your thing. And be a change agent out here in this world. We need some change agents.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Now, let's talk about one of your other hats.
Okay.
Makeup artist. I mean, you glam up so many people in the entertainment world. Now, I know all my makeup artists are probably listening. Now, do you mentor, up-and-coming makeup artists, or do you even have the time for that?
So I used to have an academy called the Wink and Pout Academy, where I mentored makeup artists. And this was at a different space in my life before I was so inundated with being a first lady and a pastor. And so my time is limited. But let me tell you something, Smiley. There is always somebody that God will lay on my heart that will inbox me, and I'll say, you know what, let me just get you rolling. You know what I mean? Like, let me just push you, because that's part of my gift. I'm an encourager. So I don't turn people away per se, but I don't have an active program where I'm mentoring. But I'm going to tell you something. Inbox me. I'm always excited to see new, fresh artists because that's what we need. And I'm excited about their, the opportunities that they've created for themselves. It encourages me and it inspires me.
Okay. Now, I got to ask you one question now. Now, can you give us plain Jane girls like myself who don't wear a lot of makeup? What are like 2 essential beauty products?
Oh,
that's a must-have.
So I feel like it's different for everybody, right? Mm-hmm. But one thing I know I can't go without is eyelashes and lip gloss. I feel like if your skin is clear, you clear it up instead of covering it up. I'm really into good skincare, which would be a 2+ or number 3. Like, I just feel like your skincare is preeminent, because that way, if you don't have your foundation, like I didn't wear foundation today. I just had on lashes and gloss. So, but my skin is clear. I don't have problem skin. But if you have problem skin, I would say that I would definitely do that concealer, a good, nice, natural concealer and foundation and lashes. But lashes are always going to be a must for me. Always going to be a must for me. And if you got thick lashes, I would say mascara. But focus on those eyes, because eyes tell the story. They really tell the story.
Yes, the eyes are the window to the soul. Yes.
Yes, girl.
So listen, when you're not teaching, ministering, glamming folks up, what are some of the things you like to do?
I don't have anything else I do.
That is your ministry.
That's what I do. I'm telling you. And that's what happens. Like, you end up doing things you like to do. It's funny. One of my best friends, her birthday was just a few weeks ago, back in February. And she is at the spa. And so she was like, do you want to go to the spa? I was like, no. And she was like, "Why?" I said, "Because I can't relax in the spa."
What?
So, I know. And you would think,
oh my gosh, give me a spa day any day.
Listen, and I know I know the spa too well, and I know all the ingredients that they're using, and I'm asking too many questions, and I'm wearing the girls out. And so my girlfriend is like, "I don't even know why I asked you, because you're not going to enjoy this." Because I'm like, "Why are you doing this?" Because you're supposed to put this on first. Like, I always catch them. And it's just, and I don't mean no harm. So she was like, "Why do we even ask you?" So, yeah, I don't do spas.
Okay, now listen, what about a really, really good massage?
I don't like them. I can't relax, because I know that, because usually, I mean, unless I get a good person, like the lady who does my facials, she's been my friend. She's one of my best friends too, and she's been my friend for 30 years. So it's different with her, but like going to like a resort and then just letting somebody just rub on me, the answer would be no. Because I feel like they're doing internship. I always can tell. I'm always looking at them like, I look at their hands, I look at their posture, and I'm like, it ain't gonna be good.
Okay, so you sizing everybody up and say, no, y'all not ready for Miss Lee. Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. That's terrible to say, but it's so true.
No, I mean,
because
it's
I work
honest.
I work in the beauty industry, so those things don't excite me. But what does excite me, Smiley, is I have a grandbaby.
Oh,
I have a grandson who is autistic. Mm-hmm. And he has low spectrum autism, and he is he has opened up a side of my life that I never knew existed. It's a newfound love.
Yes.
And it's just an excitement, and I get such joy and pleasure watching him grow and to work through his challenges. Like, I can't even begin to tell you some of the things that I have just experienced with him, like greatness of joy, like joy unspeakable, just watching him, because I can't believe that, he came through my son who came through me. And he's so perfect to me. And I mentioned that he was autistic because I'd never worked with a child with anything like this before, right? I'd never, none of our children, dealt with autism or anything like that. And so it's new. You know what I mean? And again, like I said earlier, God is constantly challenging us to grow, right? And so it has really given me a different awareness. One of the things that, with autistic children, because we're a loud family, right, is that you can't talk loud because it's almost like the ringing in their ears is magnified. And so I'm learning how to speak different. I'm learning how to kind of carry myself. Sometimes when people call me like, are you okay? I'm totally fine. But I've been in this kind of like low Zen mode because with him, I don't want to alarm him or make him feel scared or, or anything like that. So I'm learning different ways to communicate, which I think is kind of dope, right?
It's beautiful because he's teaching you. You're learning from him.
I'm learning from him.
How old is he?
He's 4.
Beautiful.
And he has literally brought so much joy into my family, into my son's life. My son has made, taken a turn for the best. His life, my grandson's mom. Like I'm watching them grow and learn how to co-parent, because that's hard. I mean, they got pregnant young. I mean, 20 years old, she was pregnant. And so, as a mom, watching him navigate through those hard times and now watching them do it successfully has really blessed me. So if you ask me, because see, I've mastered a lot of stuff, Smiley, but the family dynamic, I think some of us fail at because we don't spend the time. Family is just as important to me in this season, Smiley, as success, say, in my business life, or if I'm like relaxing, like I find joy and rest, and I find internal rest knowing that my family is good.
And it's a beautiful thing because you know what? This COVID really pulled a lot of families apart because, I've realized that a lot of people are, living in the same home, but they don't necessarily like each other. So, family is beautiful. Family love and that dynamic is a beautiful thing.
And to master it, and you learn every day. You know what I'm saying? Because so we have a 4-generation house.
Oh, nice.
So it's my parents, it's us, it's my son, and then the baby. So you're talking about 4 generations living under one roof, which means that everybody's dynamic is different.
Yes.
And so to master that, like I mastered women's minds, okay? I'm like, listen, I mastered faces of all ethnicities and minds. Of course, I got to master this family thing. Like, it just got to work, So I'm just like, I can't be successful. I can't be a public success and a private failure. That ain't going to work for me.
Oh, yes. 4 generations. That's what's up.
4 generations.
It's usually 3 generations.
It's 4 generations in this house. So how I treat my grandson is not how I treat my parents. It's not how I treat my husband or my son. So all of them are living in 4 different eras. 4 different age groups. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I find myself watching Peppa Pig. To Magnum PI. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's like I go from one extreme to the other with TV, with entertainment, even with food selections.
But you learn a lot.
But I'm
always in the know.
Much. Yeah, I'm always in the know. And I've never lived with these people before. I've been away from home since I was 18 years old from college. I never came back. So this is very, very new for me to be back with my parents and to have a baby with us. Like, it's just like, okay, all right, God, you stretching me, but it's good. Though. It's a good stretch. So that's what I love to do in my spare time is figure these humans out.
I love it.
They live in this house.
That's simple. That's the village. You're part of the village. I love that.
Yes.
Now, Kym, I cannot bring you on the show and not talk about music. Now, I already know you don't like to spa. You love hanging with the family. Now, who do you listen to? What are there any artists out there that you listen to?
Oh,
independent artists. Who do you like?
Oh my God, I absolutely. You know, one of my favorite artists is one of my first clients, which is Mesa.
Mesa, okay, that is Baltimore DMV sweetheart.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, she just performed recently, here in Maryland, in Bethesda. Nice. Well, you know what we're gonna do? I'm gonna get on Mesa songs for you. Any particular song?
Oh, girl, you can take us back to Incognito all the way through all her albums. Like anything you play by Mesa, I'm going to love.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, I want to thank you for hanging out with me in the zone today and talking about your book, Brain Beauty. Now, you got a second edition coming out. Is it out?
Yes, I do. Yes, it is. It is actually, it dropped last week. It dropped last week.
Perfect.
So if you guys run to my website, it's Wink and Pout by KymLee.com. Wink and Pout by Kym Lee. That's spelled with a Y. KYMLEE.com. Now, I know you're wondering, now, why is your book under Wink and Pout? Because that is my beauty brand. So I not only do I have a best-selling book, but I have a very successful makeup line that I decided to start and begin. And it started as a hobby because I was speaking at a conference and I ended up with this really great brand. I'm the first African-American. I told you I do a bunch of firsts. I'm the first African-American beauty brand to be at the MGM. So,
nice. Congratulations. Beautiful.
Yes, we're at the MGM. And so MGM went through a series of changes. And so now we're online, but we're going back into MGM soon. But you can find us online. So there you can find our book. There you can find our products, which we have beautiful foundations and lashes, magnetic lashes and glosses and all this fun stuff. And then you can also book me. If you want to have some special time with Kym Lee, you can also book me. So it is a great place to stop and shop.
Okay, then what's your IG page?
The Kym Lee, TheKymlee.
Y'all check her out. She does great things over there. Now, I have to shout you out, Kym, because you always make me look so, beautiful. Now, she's the one, when you see all the Smiley J pictures, that is Kym Lee. She does my makeup. She keeps it clean and cute. She know I don't like a lot of busyness, and she listens.
Thank you, Smiley. And you're so fun to make up.
I know we have some good girl chat
Some
now.
good times.
Yes. And wait a minute, I gotta shout out my girl Jackie Hicks of Fond Memories Photography for giving me those fire shots. Yay! What's up, Jackie? Yay!
Jackie Hicks.
Yes,
in
Jackie
the house.
Hicks. In the house, yes. Little feisty self.
Yes,
again, I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your so busy schedule, and thank you for changing women's lives inside out. Yes, and make sure you guys check out her book, Brain Beauty, because we want to be cute on the outside as well as the inside. Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me, Smiley. I appreciate this. And I wish everybody that's listening, make that turn, girl. Find out those gifts. Live your life to the fullest.
Boom. You heard it here first. Let me go ahead and get on Kym's favorite song, who just happens to be her friend. Now, how cool is that?
we do the things we do. The next time, baby, that our love breaks down, I'll do the best that I can to turn it around.
Hi, this is Ken Navarro, and you are in the Smiley J Artist Zone.
All right, I want to thank today's guest, Dr. Kym Lee. And of course, I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me to the very end. Shout out to all the women out there doing wonderful things in your communities, careers, at home. You know, even sometimes while even running a side business. Yes, women, that's what we do. We wear lots and lots of hats. That's why I think we need another month or two. April, May, June, you know what I mean. Anywho, don't forget to celebrate all the beautiful women that had a positive influence in your life. Yes, give them their flowers now. Don't wait. And also, don't forget to pick up Dr. Kym Lee's book, Brain Beauty. We want you looking good on the outside, but most importantly, we want you to feel good in the inside. As always, thank you again for hanging out with me. Be well, stay safe, and remember to listen to good music. Your ears will thank you for it. I'm Smiley J, and I'm out.